Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Really appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it, so thank you in advance. Today we get to talk about a game in a genre that does not get a lot of love anymore for a bunch of different reasons, but when done right is one of my favorite genres and the reason why I started playing video games as much as I did as a kid, and that is the platformer genre. So let's talk about a new game in that genre that actually does, a really good job of representing. That is Psychonauts 2. Now, if you have not played the original Psychonauts, understandable. It is not 100% necessary to play it, but I would highly recommend that you play that one because it is fantastic too, and it definitely will get its shine on. But I just felt like showing you the newer version just because I played this one more recently, and I wanted to kind of showcase that there are still some games being made in a genre that's often forgotten, right? And there's a bunch of different reasons why the change in, popularities of certain things like first-person shooters becoming the thing and what have you. But anyway, back to this incredible game. So Psychonauts, in the series you play as young Rasputin, which I love that name for a main character because it's just a name you don't hear often, and he goes by Raz, which is also a cool name. But the character you play is a psychic, and in this world, psychics are people who exist, and it's not something where everybody has. You have to kind of have that latent ability, and this kid is a person who was always enthralled and in wanting to be a psychic and work for the Psychonauts, who is they're covert but not so covert. They make comic books about their exploits, and there's a whole world that revolves around the Psychonauts, but he wanted to be one, and this is his chance to prove himself. And so you go through, and the thing about this game that is so amazing in the platforming genre itself is the way they use psychic abilities as a way to help you traverse throughout the game. You're always constantly finding ways to use your powers in order to get out of different situations, which kind of goes along with the whole, secret agent organization type of theme. So you get that kind of crossover of the physical abilities are maybe not the most important if you can, overcome the brawn with your brain. And, sometimes it's literal and sometimes it's figurative. The characters, very, very interesting. Everybody has their own story, background, wonderfully voiced. And this game is the total package. It's got collectibles, so you have something to look forward to while you're going through the levels. In addition to all the levels being very unique, they're all based on different people's minds. So you always go into people's minds in some form or fashion, and you're trying to help them resolve things that are causing whatever interference to the overall goal of the game. And it's always about self-discovery and kind of, going deeper below the surface and, confronting things and, forgiving yourself. And there's all these themes that go along with it that makes it a really, really engaging from an emotional standpoint, which a lot of games find it hard to do. At least in my opinion, it seems like it's hard for games to do these days. That's something that's probably always been tough for games to really, nail down. But this game does a great job of doing it. Controls are fantastic. Visuals are great. The powers that you get, you can you level up to, there's a level up system. It's not necessarily just XP, but when you do get enough things to gain a new skill point, you can, increase abilities, make durations last longer, increase the effectiveness, all the things that give it, an extra layer of depth. You got the platforming side, you got the story and presentation side, you have this RPG element. And again, for me, give me a little RPG action within any type of genre, and I'm happy with that, right? The game is not difficult in the sense of the actual combat. Combat is more so a means to an end. It's not the focal point of the game, but it is something that, it's interesting enough. But like I said, the way this game really shines is when you start to go into these different worlds and, making it to the Psychonauts headquarters and discovering all of the backstories of these characters that you've heard of, you've seen, just interacting with random characters. There are a number of side quests that you pick up in pretty much every area you go into. You have the ability to go into people's minds, and you can see what they're thinking, and you can, gives you just people that don't really matter in the whole, story arc of the game. But, you take over a guy, and all of a sudden he sees everybody as bacon. That's very different in its own sort of humorous way, and I really like that. Since your character is the new guy, he gets hazed a bit, and there's the whole transition of him becoming accepted by everyone and things like that. But you got people in your corner who always knew you could do it, so you have that kind of, overall happy side once you kind of get through and help everybody with the things that they're dealing with. So a game I highly recommend if you're a fan of the platforming genre, or if you're looking for a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, but also, deals with a lot of potentially serious issues in a very engaging and heartwarming way. So I definitely say play it. Even if you don't like these type of games, you'll probably, be pleasantly surprised. If you know about this game, let me know what you think about this one, the series as a whole, what we may see in the sequel, all the good things that I love hearing from you all. As always, I appreciate you letting me take time to reminisce with you. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe.